watching this very interview at this hour. And then I'd like first of all to introduce the guest before we go into the session of questioning to him. I'm privileged to have seated beside me this afternoon a human rights activist and then, who is also a member of the Amnesty International, both in the UK and in the US. And he's no other person other than senior advocate of Nigeria, Akin Oladipo Agbe. Is a human rights activist, and then the privilege for us to have him seated with us here this very afternoon. A lot we are going to be hearing from him this very afternoon, and I believe that at the end you will get to know more about your right concerning the issue we're about to discuss, and then also you can reach out to him also at the end of this uh, question and answer season. Sir, you are welcome. It's a pleasure to meet with you, sir. And then I want to appreciate you once again for the job you have done so far within the community, within the state, within the nation, even across the nation. Personally, I've heard a lot about your impact within the society and how a lot of people have been singing your praises based on your prompt intervention when their rights are about to be abused, particularly within the police sector. And then I will believe that you will live long to continue this work so that Nigeria can return to a peaceful state where the rights of every individual is fully defended to the end. You are welcome once more. It's a privilege to have you. And then before we go on, sir, I would like you to tell us a little about yourself to those who are watching at home. Let them hear from you directly. I know a little about you, but I think when they hear from you, they know who actually we are talking with. Can you please introduce yourself, sir? Yes, sir.
My name is Akin Oladipo Agbe, the National President of Civil Rights Liberty Organization and a member of Amnesty International. I'm a human rights advocate. I am mandated to protect, defend the right of citizens in every aspect of life. I don't tolerate any violations of fundamental human rights on anyone. And that is my primary objectives. And that's my focus as a human rights advocate and also as a solicitor.
You're welcome, sir. It's a pleasure meeting you. Now, today we are going to be asking you questions in the area of landlord and tenant issue, with reference to Lagos State as an example. We know there's a lot of challenges between landlords and tenants. Getting accommodation in Lagos is a wonderful experience. I would like to begin to ask questions in that area. First and foremost, sir, what are the little laws that we need to know that is guiding a tenant and a landlord? In Lagos, with reference to Lagos, what are the little laws we need to know that is guiding, what the tenant should know and what the landlord should know when it comes to the issue of rent and agreement between the two of them?
On the issue of landlord and tenant, there are laws that guide the two parties. The landlord being the owner, the bona fide owner of a property, is the landlord who wants to let out an apartment, which of course the law permits him to do so. And at the same time, the tenant is somebody who comes to the landlord to hire any of his apartments, either flat or a room self-contained or a duplex. And since they have come together to do business together as landlord and tenant, so there are laws that are binding on the two of them. The landlord have the right to let to the tenant, and also if in consideration of the money paid by the tenant, if the tenant pays the landlord the rent that required to be paid, the tenant also have the right to access to his to where the apartment is rented from the landlord. Yeah. So he has the right. and the landlord must not debar him from taking having access
into that
into
apartment.
that apartment. So those are the two things initially that happened between the two tenants.
First question, sir. Now, when a tenant wants to rent an apartment
Yes.
from a landlord, under the law, how many years rent is the landlord expected to collect from the tenant?
Well, it depends. It depends on the landlord, but what the law says now in Lagos State is expected is a line is what is expected of the landlord to do is to collect 1 year rent.
1 year rent.
1 year rent
Under the law.
Well, under the law, say to say.
Yeah, that's so that we know our right from there. Is it under the law or it's I don't know how to put it because a year of landlord collect 2 years, 2.5 years, as the case may be. Under the law, what does the law say?
What the law says is that the law has separated one section of the allocated place, because like for instance, if you are talking about 1 year rent,
Yes.
1 year rent falls into some kind of categories like Mushin area, Surulere, Egbeda, Ikotun areas, Agege.
Okay.
They believe that, I don't know, maybe the governor believes that those ones are less privileged people, so who are to benefit from the low income rate. But however, like Lekki, Ikoyi, the law is not applicable to them. So that's why I personally, and we don't believe that that is a law, because there's equality before the law.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Either you live in Ikoyi, or you live in Aja, or you live in Mushin, everyone is equal. So there should be no separations of power, and there should be no separation of laws. Okay. But as it is presently now, for the less privileged ones, the law says 1 year rent.
The law says 1 year.
1 year rent.
So if the landlord is asking for more than 1 year rent,
if the landlord is asking for 1 year, we have an attitude in Nigeria that even if something is happening to us, we don't have the attitude of reporting. We always accept it that okay, we leave it for God. For the fact that the laws are there, how many people even know these laws that we are talking about? The landlord will believe that I'm the owner of my house. No government built my house for me, so I can detect what to do. And the tenant wants to live peacefully.
So they will agree.
So they will agree with the landlord, instead of him, taking up the landlord that you've collected 2 years from me or 3 years from me, so I'll take it up. So he believes that taking him up will jeopardize so many things.
He's staying there.
Particularly, and he might even be giving him a lot of problems and his family. And he doesn't want such thing to happen.
So he will not
relax.
Keep quiet.
He will not be quiet. He will not say anything. Whereas his rights have been violated by the landlord for collecting more than what the law says.
One more question, sir. In that same regard, do we have under the law the issue of agency and agreement fee and damages fee that the landlord collects in addition with their tenement rate? Is it under the law that the tenant must pay agency fee, agreement fee, damages fee before they are granted access into any apartment rented from the landlord? Is there any law to that effect?
Well, there are laws, but however, the agency fees and the commission aspect is not for the landlord.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's not for the landlord. The agency fee they are talking about is the agreement that the landlord need to prepare for the tenant. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be a legal fee. A legal fee.
Okay.
And then the commission aspect, that is the agent who is involved. That means a third party has been involved in the transaction.
Okay.
So probably there is an estate agent who assisted the tenant
in getting
to secure the apartment.
Okay.
So definitely that fee must have been discussed before the house was given to the tenant.
Okay.
So of course the tenant has to pay that commission. The tenant, the commission and the agency fee is not for the landlord. What belongs to the landlord is the rent fees.
But we are in a situation where we have landlord that will meet one-on-one and still want to collect the agency and agreement fee from you as a tenant.
Well, that means the landlord is handling three issues at a time. He wants to become, or he wants to be his own self-agent, and also he wants also want to become a lawyer by himself to prepare the agreement. But however, it depends on what you have agreed with the landlord.
Okay.
If the landlord discuss with you, it's none of his house. If he discuss with you, because no, the law does not allow such, that he should collect agency and the commission for the fact that this is the rightful owner of the place.
Okay.
But in the circumstance, the tenant will be denied access
Into the apartment.
into the apartment, and the landlord might decide not to even give him any the place to rent.
Okay. One more question, sir. In case of default,
Yes.
a tenant has stayed in a house for 1 year,
Yes.
2 years, and towards the end of the third year, somehow things were no more rosy, and he started defaulting. To what extent can a tenant default before a landlord can issue a quit notice?
Thank you very much, sir. Quit notice has nothing to do with your terms of staying. Quit notice has nothing to do with it. If you're living in that apartment and the surroundings is not habitable, that is not suitable for the landlord or for the neighbor or for whoever, the landlord can give you notice to quit. It is not until you are owing rent. You might not
before quit notice comes.
Yeah, before notice comes. You might stay there, but you might pay 5 years rent, and probably be
2.5 years in between.
or in between, or maybe 6 months in between, and then your attitude, or maybe the landlord discover that maybe an armed robber has come to rent an apartment from him,
Okay.
or a foreigner has come to rent an apartment from him that create problems all the time. The landlord has the right to issue quit notice. And what the law says is that once you are yearly tenants, the landlord will have to give you 6 months notice.
For a yearly tenant.
A yearly tenant. If you are a yearly tenant, you are entitled to have 6 months notice. But for that 6 month notice, a lot of people have made the mistake of, what they feel in that notice is that if the landlord should give them quick notice of 6 months notice, they believe that for that 6 month period, they are not to pay anything.
Exactly, and that's a big issue that is happening within,
It's just a notice to notify you. It's to notify you. Notifying you does not give you that guarantee or opportunity that you should be owing.
The notice is for the tenant to quit the apartment.
Yes, it's just a notice.
And he needs money to pay for another one.
It doesn't matter. But however, what the law says is that give him 6 month notice. After the 6 month notice, if the tenant refuses to quit,
Okay.
then the landlord will not issue him another 7 days notice. So after 7 days notice, it's not enough for the landlord to go and evict him by himself. And nobody can also do that. You cannot take laws into your hand. So what the law says is go to court or meet your lawyer to get a summons for the tenant. And getting a summons for the tenant does not mean that if you get to court, or if the tenant should get to court, then they will ask you, the court will ask you, are you guilty or not? It's not a criminal offense, it's a civil matter. So what the court will ask you is that, let us know if you want to quit from the apartment
Or if you want to stay there.
or you still want to stay, or if you are owing or you are not owing. You have to tell it, you have to say it to the court. And if you say you don't want to quit, then the matter will continue to drag on, and the court will want to know your reason
For not paying.
not only paying, for not
wanting to leave that place.
the place. But the court will not allow the landlord to harass you or to intimidate you.
We have seen situations where we see landlords, because tenants are owing, they will go to the roof and remove the zinc of that particular apartment.
That is criminal.
Or some will just remove the hinges on the door.
That is criminal. That is not likely to cause breach of the public
Does
peace.
landlords have that right?
Landlord does not. Landlord do not have such right. Landlord do not have any right to intimidate any tenant or to harass any tenant. If any landlord does such thing, definitely law will take care of him. Then the tenant has the right to report him to a nearby police station where he will be taken care of. Because if he does that, that is more likely to cause breach of the public peace. And also, he can be arrested for malicious damage.
That's the landlord.
That's the landlord. The landlord have no right to eject any tenant out forcefully.
So, sir, in Nigeria, with reference to Lagos State now, is there any body or organization that is handling issues between landlord and tenant? Must it be police all the time? Are there no bodies that are set aside in Lagos to handle cases between landlords and tenants?
With due respect, sir, police have no right to intervene into civil matters. Landlord and tenant issue is purely a civil matter.
So where do they go?
The criminal aspect is what I'm trying to analyze. The criminal aspect of what the landlord has committed is criminal. Going to remove roof, going to disturb, or going to lock doors and everything, those ones are criminal aspect. So the criminal aspect, it should be handled by the police. But the civil one is purely courts that can handle such.
Okay.
And also, we have human rights organizations now, and the Lagos State government has also formulated this mediation centers where you can as well go there. Human rights office, you can as well go there, and once you make a report, then the mediation center or the human rights body will now invite the landlord to come and defend the allegation. Do you understand? And the both parties will be advised. If it is possible for the landlord to go to court, fine. If it is possible for the tenant can as well sue the landlord.
The tenant have the right to sue the landlord.
The tenant has the right to sue the landlord.
If he feels that his right is being
if he feels that his right is being trampled upon, the tenant also can sue. If he notice that the landlord really wants to eject him out forcefully, he can go to court and get his right.
Viewers at home, you are listening to I call him Dr. Akin Oladipo Agbe, and then it's rather unfortunate that we can't take calls, because I would have loved calls to come in for you to ask questions and then put your own contribution. But I believe that subsequent edition of this program, you will hear more. One more question, sir.
Yes, sir.
There is a situation where you have just paid your rent. You've been in this particular apartment, you just paid your rent, and 3 months down the line, the landlord came back to you again that he has financial issue and he wants to pay another 1 year rent to what you have given him. While the 1 year you just paid is just 3 months going, and he said he has financial issue, he wants you to pay another. And refusal for the tenant to pay, he started making trouble with the tenant. How do you handle such as a tenant? How do you handle such?
It's not because it's a landlord. If the landlord have a problem, that is a personal issue. It's asking for an assistance from the tenant.
Yeah.
It is not compulsory that the tenant should render him such an assistance.
But we have seen cases where the landlords are making it mandatory.
It's wrong. It's wrong. You cannot mandate the tenants to pay such money, because the reason is that
because you will tell them that there's another person now who wants to pay 2 years because he has financial issue that somebody wants to pay 2 years. So if he's not willing to pay, to give him that assistance, they should back out so that that person can come and he can.
Are you saying that after the tenant has taken possession,
he's already living there?
No, that's pure violation of his fundamental right. He can take the landlord up. He can go and report him that is harassing him. That's purely harassment. In that case, it's harassment. It's harassment and intimidation. And if he doesn't want to go to the police and probably want to come to the human rights office, we'll give them the number for them to come. Then we'll not invite the landlord. We'll not invite the landlord to come and explain why he has to do that. It's wrong, because what the law says is that the tenant that has paid his rent must live peacefully in the apartment that he has rented. Both himself and the family must stay there peacefully, without any harassment, without any hindrance, without any disturbance from anybody. And if the landlord should do such thing, definitely he has violated the fundamental human right of that tenant, which is purely illegal and unlawful.
Now, we've been talking about protecting, all the questions I asked so far is protecting the tenants.
Yes.
Now, I want to look at it this way. We have seen landlords also who have been abused by tenants.
Yes.
Some will come in, just give the tenant, the landlord, 3 years. And then after the 3 years, they refuse paying. They will just be there and be giving the landlord one excuse or the other, one excuse. Some will plan to use another 3 years free before they can move. So that they will use that 3 years free and then get out of that apartment. How do landlords handle such issues?
I've said it before. If the tenant goes for any time, maybe 6 months or a year or 3 months or 3 years, the landlord has the right to issue quick notice to the tenant. Give him quick notice, and after the 6-month notice, 7 days, after the 7 days, then you give him summons to come to court. Mind you, if a tenant is suing and the matter is in court and the judgment is given, and the tenant move away from that apartment, it is not enough for him not to pay that money. He's still under the law. He must still pay that money. He must still pay the money. He has to pay that money.
Whereas so many tenants are so happy to go to court and then sue the landlord because they say the period within the case is in court, they are not entitled to pay anything.
And that is within when the matter is in court.
Okay, that is true.
And it's not true. That is a personal thinking. That is a personal.
But under the law, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
You are still due to
what
pay
the
your
law
rent.
says that even if it's 1 week, you have to pay your rent, even while the matter is in court. If you try to pay the landlord, because some landlords will even refuse to collect rent, what the law says is that pay to the court. Inform the court that I try to pay my landlord and my landlord refuse to collect his rent, and the court will ask from him, why do you refuse to do? Is it true that you refuse to collect your rent? He says yes. I only want him I want him out from my house. You understand? That is, he has given me consent there. That is not the fault of the tenant. You understand?
Yeah.
But if the matter is in court, even if it's in court for 20 years, the tenant is still bound to pay the rent.
No matter how long the case stays in court.
No matter how long the matter stays in court.
Talking about the rent, we have houses these days are very, very expensive. 2-bedroom now, we are talking about 350, 300. Self-contained, they are collecting 250. A room self-contained, they are collecting 150, 180. And is there a way to, under the law, are there prices? Is there a way the law has attached prices to such accommodation? Because people are going through a lot in Lagos specifically to get an apartment these days. Why is it that expensive? And what can be done to really bring down rent issue in this?
The amount you are putting